So this morning I asked the boys to get me some sand from the creek. We just need to amend the garden. And then so with the sand that we already got, he's going to put in some soil from the compost bin. All of it. Yes, all of it.
Like, just put it?
Just put it in, please. Beautiful. Okay, do you see that nice black soil? This is from the compost bin. Okay, and then the next one is from, please? The next one is from soil that we got from in the forest around our house. And it's just a nice leaf loam. You should see it's pretty dark, still has quite a bit of organic matter. And then we're gonna mix that all together. So Alex is gonna tell us how to plant a tomato.
So we have some dirt. We have leaf loam and compost from my compost bin. And we got some sand from our creek.
Okay.
And so we stirred it together and mixed it together and
with the garden that we already had.
With the garden we already had. And so I'm gonna crush the eggshells and
okay, that is gonna add calcium.
That is gonna add calcium to the dirt. And so
and then what else are we gonna put in there?
We are going to put, well, I am going to put in the banana peel.
And just put it in there.
I'm just going to put it in there and
okay. And then
we
nope. We have to plant something.
Plant the chocolate cherry tomato.
Good. And
it's really good
all right.
too.
Well, first of all, we got to take something off the plant.
And we have to hold this and then
very carefully.
Carefully.
Can you pinch it? Okay. Okay.
And
we're going to bury it up to its neck, they say.
Bury it up to its neck.
Good. Keep going. It gets buried very deep. And each one of those little hairs on the edge of a tomato plant is a potential root. So the lower you plant it in the hole, the more roots it can grow. Okay, very good, Alex. All right, so here we have the 2 tomato plants that Alex planted. We live and we garden on a hill, and so this is sloping. So if I leave it like that, it's going to, all the water's going to run right off. So I just make a little moat around my tomato plant so the roots can spread out, and whenever it rains, it will hold it for a little bit and give the water for the tomato plants. Tomato plants are really good in that they like a lot of companion plants. We're going to talk later about companion planting. But 2 things that I like to plant near my tomatoes are marigolds and basil. Basil grows really well with it, and also it's really good to cook with at the same time. So Danny is going to plant my marigolds right here. He's just going to scratch the surface. And he's going to take a couple. They're really small. Long. Go ahead and put them in there. And then he's going to cover them back up. All right, and the same with the top. You put 1 tomato plant. Oops, I gave you too many. You put 1 tomato plant per square foot. And then he's going to put those in there. And then cover them up. Very good. And then the basil plants we're going to put in front. Basil and marigolds are super easy to grow, so you don't need to get starter plants at the store unless you really want to. So my kids have gone inside to eat lunch. So I thought I'd explain tomatoes to you. You have two different types. You have determinate tomatoes and indeterminate. There are only two different types. So determinate means that they are going to all come on at one time, and then they're going to kind of be done for the season. So those would be the ones that you're going to want to make tomato sauces and that kind of thing out of, because you want them all to come on at one time. Indeterminate tomatoes are going to come on here and there, but they're just going to keep growing all throughout the summer. So those would be the big ones that you would like to have for sandwiches and just to eat once in a while for dinner. You're not going to want to have 10 pounds of tomatoes that you don't know what to do with, you know, if you just wanted to have them for sandwiches. So determinate ones are the ones that you're going to want to put in a tomato cage, because they're going to get nice and bushy. The indeterminate ones just continue to grow throughout the summer, and so they're going to get really tall. They can get up to like 7 feet tall. So you're going to really want to trellis those up. What I usually do is I put 2 poles on either side of where I'm going to plant my tomatoes, and then I'm going to put a string in between them, and they're going to just grow up a string, and I'm going to wind them around there, and that's how I contain them. I don't put 1 pole per tomato plant because I might have 20 tomato plants. So that would just be really expensive and really not necessary. When they're all kind of growing together, they're gonna just support each other, and it will be okay.